doing is we're going to be sharing with you a couple of resources that we've had on our website for a while now, but you know, you may not have come across them before, and they may be useful to you, and they're all about your own organizational values. And this kind of links through to what we do at the Big Picture People, which is we help organizations to communicate things like company values, company vision, strategy, anything that's a kind of difficult message typically to get across to employees in an engaging and stimulating way. That's what we kind of specialize in. So what we're talking about today is a couple of tools that we use when we're working with clients, but also that you can use yourself. That's the idea behind these. These are tools that are designed to be used either for your own personal reflection or with your team as well. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to pop these values, these values. I'm going to be popping these resources on the screen. So the first resource that I'm going to share with you, and all of these resources are available at our website. So let me just quickly pop onto screen the where you can access these. You can access any of these resources via our website. So if we're going to try to be tech savvy here, and we're going to pop them on the screen as a QR code. So if you've got your cell phone to hand, your mobile phone to hand, you can get this resource. Let me just change the side so it's not obscured. You can get this resource by holding your phone up to your screen with your camera, and that should open up on most phones, and it does on Apple. It should do it on an Android device as well. It will give you the opportunity to open up the website, our resources page, and you can go there and you can download the resources that I'm going to be talking about this afternoon. Alternatively, if you just go to the bigpicturepeople.co.uk/resources, you can get them there as well, and they're all free. There are other resources as well that you're more than welcome to help yourself to while you're there. So anyway, let's get to the first of the resources that I'm going to share with you. And this resource, I'm going to pop it on the screen for you so you can see it. It is this one here, and it is all about assessing your own organization's values. Now, I'm conscious that a lot of you on this call are probably working in organizations where you have your own organizational values already, within your team, within your organization. But sometimes it's a case that a team may want to identify its own internal values, and it's not to say that they're trying to create an extra set of values over and above what the organization has, but it's often you find within teams, within subcultures within teams, they have their own values, and that's not to say that they're incompatible with the main organizational values. So this resource here is something that you can use either yourself, and it might be about you might use it to identify your own personal values as well, or the values that you've got within your team, within your department, within your function. And it's a really simple exercise. All of the exercises I'm going to share with you here are really, really simple, really easy to use. And the idea behind this is and all of our resources have got the instructions down the right hand side. Basically, you will take this resource. The resource has a set of words that you descriptor words, traits that you can use to describe values. And the idea is that you start to identify which of the ones on that list that most resonate with you. Again, whether it's your team's values or whether it's your own personal values. And the idea is you then start to prioritize them. You start to say, okay, which of these are the ones that if I was only left with 3 of these, we say 3 just to try to force some prioritization, which are the 3 that would probably be the ones that we would want to identify as being most synonymous with our values within our team. Now, we've just given a random set or a collection of words that typically organizations use when they're talking about their values. So words such as persistence, sincerity, trust, excellence, teamwork. These are all kind of typical words that teams use, but you can add your own. So it's not an exhaustive list. It's not in any way meant to be exhaustive. But the idea is what we're trying to do is to try to strike up a conversation either within our team or for us to start to reflect with what is it that really is important to us? What are the things that make us tick as a team? And what is it that drives a lot of the behaviors within our team when it comes to our kind of guiding principles, which is essentially what values are. So that's something that you can use to do that. And as I said, you could use this as a personal reflection exercise, or you could issue this to your team. And I've often used this when I've been working with organizations that don't have values, or they don't have written down values, they've not actually spent any time thinking about them, to try and flush out those conversations about, well, what are our values? What do we stand for? What do we believe in? And as I say, if you've already got organizational values, it's not in any way to contradict them. It's something that you can use to overlay against those or with those in order to identify what's important for your own team. So that's the first resource. So determining your individual or organizational values, really simple tool, really simple exercise. I guess one watch out or one health warning with anything like this is that distilling down values into a single word, it can be risky. So for example, my interpretation of integrity might be different to another person's. They may be equally valid but just different. So I think it's always useful when you do something like this to not only look at the word itself but also talk about, well, what's some of the behaviors that kind of indicates as well. So certainly when you start to get down to some of the priority values, the words or the traits that you think really do encapsulate what your values are, I think it's really important at that stage to start to say, well, what does that mean? What do we actually mean by that? And what does that look like in our team, in order that you can be clear that we have a consistent understanding of what that is. As I say, that's particularly important when you're doing this with your colleagues.